Ever thought about owning a sports team? In today's video, we're going to go over a book that might help you in those pursuits, so stay tuned.
I just got that money swag.
I haven't talked much about it, but I'm interested in picking up a sports franchise. The team that I would like to pick up is Real Cartagena out in Cartagena. It's a soccer team. Long story short, soccer team in Colombia that I would like to purchase one day. But one of my goals this year is to actually figure out the nuts and bolts of how to make that purchase. So I was going online and I was trying to find stuff about sports team ownership, and I came across this book, which is called Making It in the Minors by Arthur P. Solomon with Allyn Freeman, a team owner's lesson in the baseball business. The book is about a man who owns two sports franchises, two minor league baseball teams, and I feel as though that that's going to be monumental. His experience that he's sharing in his book would have been something that I could pick up and digest easily. I don't really know too much about the operation about a sports team, so I wanted to learn something about that, and this book does help. So I'll just go through the chapters with you guys. New sports owner, new breed. So in that chapter, he's going to talk about the process that he went through to purchase the team, and I really liked his thoughts on that, his thought process on relocating the team and all that kind of stuff. Building the brand is more than just sports, and this is when it gets to the information that I really wanted to know. Basically, what is it about owning a team that's different that most people wouldn't consider, or stuff that you wouldn't think about? And he talks about it right there. And then chapter 3 is he talks about partnerships, and he talks about like making partnerships with the local businesses, national businesses, so you can see the banner ads for a baseball stadium, like the banners and all that stuff that are around the stadium that have the team's logos and stuff. Customizing advertisements and promotions. So that chapter, he's going to tell you about different things you could do to promote the team that really ingratiate your team with the local fan base. The core, ancillary, and complementary businesses. So he talks about how you actually make money as a sports team owner. So I really like that chapter because that gets into how am I going to increase top line revenues, how I'm going to increase the value of the team, how I'm going to increase the return on invested capital and that kind of stuff. Hiring and training professional staff. I really like that chapter because hiring is something that I haven't had much time to perfect and that kind of stuff. So just little things that he looks for when he's hiring people, because for example, in the baseball business, because this is minor league baseball, and most sports are not year round. So you have staff that are like on staff, and then you have like people that come in and work the concession booths and work the food stands and that kind of stuff, and had to handle both those groups of people. Something I didn't even think about, but the team is only open for like months out of the year, not the whole year. So that's something that clicked my fancy. I was like, oh, okay, I really like that. The economics of professional baseball. This one doesn't apply to me as much, but it's just good to see how the nuts and bolts of a team work, because while it's baseball, it's a little bit different. For example, in minor league baseball, all the players' salary, all the coaches' salary, and all the training staff, as of the time he wrote this book, is paid for by the major league team. So basically, Baltimore Orioles have a AAA team, AA team, single A team. They might have multiple teams at different levels, and they send prospects through those levels. So they have their different coaches and that kind of stuff right there onto that team. So like they know who's managing their players, because if they draft somebody number 1 overall, they just don't want any old body or somebody who has a trainer or a staff or field in place that isn't up to their standards or isn't the best possible person. Because like if they invest a lot of draft capital, they want to make sure this guy can come up through the ranks. So in the Colombian league, I don't believe it's like that. There's an A tier and a B tier, but there's no like master team that pays for everybody's stuff. So that's something that would be different for me. The trainers and all that, all those operating costs would be on me. A successful sports franchise. that's something that I could take with me. What makes a sports team successful, franchise successful? Not a big fan of them, but like, i.e., like the Lakers. What makes them so successful? A team that has continued to compete for championships, win championships, versus some other organizations that have like dysfunction in the organization. Two big markets like in the United States basketball, you got the New York Knickerbockers and the LA Lakers. The LA Lakers actually like share a stadium with another team if you're not familiar with baseball. But the Lakers, like since their inception, since they moved to LA, have been like competitive pretty much since then. Where the Knickerbockers, same market, pretty much like size wise. New York is actually a bigger market. Another team in New York now, but they haven't been able to replicate the success, even though they're probably playing with like almost the same amount of money. And then he just reflects on the reflection of a baseball junkie. He just reflects on that at the end of like how he enjoyed it, the time with the family and all that kind of stuff. My thoughts on the book, I would have to give this book a 4.5 out of 5. I would like to get a little bit more information on the actual valuation of the team and how to do that. If it had that in there, it would get a 5 out of 5. I would say this book delivers. A couple things I'm taking away from the book is ingratiate yourself with the local community, because you support the community, they support you. There's also an opportunity for you to really like build the brand by having community involvement. Like he changed the name of the team in this book, and he used the local newspapers and that kind of thing to send out surveys and that stuff. So the fans in that new community we moved the team to and was going to change the team's name felt like they were part of that process and felt more attached to the team, which makes sense. So just stuff like that, and to be creative with your advertisements and that kind of thing. I would say this is a good book for anybody who's interested in purchasing a sports franchise. I feel like you can't miss out by picking up this book. I got it off of Amazon. Mr. Solomon really delivered. So stay tuned. I'll have some other book reviews for you guys. In this book, because I'm not going to purchase the team tomorrow or anything like that, but I do the book reviews so you know what books to read. Just because you can't purchase a house today doesn't mean you can't read a book on how to purchase a house and get better today. Just because you can't achieve the end goal doesn't mean you can't work towards it. So you guys stay on your purpose, stay working towards your goals, and I'll come out with more book reviews. If you like this one, please like, subscribe, and share with somebody else.